to be literally blowing around all over them and falling on top of them and just gently, you know, ruffling my hair. Maybe, maybe not. Okay, just me. Well, that could be fun. Rift Blush Confetti. I actually think that could be a big thing. Rift Blush Confetti, what do you guys think? That'd be pretty... I actually think that'd be pretty fun. Oh my god. The next time I go to a Base Trade TV live event, I'm gonna make Rift Blush Confetti. I'm gonna come up behind Rifkin and just throw it all over it. Oh my god. It's brilliant. Bottom left hand side, our first series of the day. First time representing his brand new team, a Go Esports, a Polish organization who are quite big in Counter-Strike and other games. Awesome to see them stepping into the world of StarCraft 2. To the bottom left, our blue Zerg player here is Elazer. To the top right hand side, our red Terran player from Wind and Rain. Give it up if you're cheering on souL. What's the prize pool of this tournament? The prize pool of this tournament is the $1,500. Me and TakeTV put in $750 each to help fund this event and get it off the ground. And of course, it's made possible by you beautiful people out in the chat, you subscribers, the donators, the supporters, the people who watch the ads and all the rest of it. You guys have made this all possible. So shout out to you guys helping to bring 2018 has left the game to the world. Do check out TakeTV as well if you're into some German speaking. They are going to be over on twitch.tv/TakeTV doing the German cast today. We also have Polish and Russian community casts as well. So do check out all of that. As 2018 has left the game, it goes global. Well, I mean, not quite, I guess, kind of, in a way. And as you do see the factory dropping down here, getting this going. Reaper going to be coming up for the Reaper-based expansion. As it's just hatch, gas, and pool from Elazer with a couple queens and a few lings on the way out. Very slow on the ling speed, just going to be mine with one worker on gas, so not the fastest possible ling speed as we get this going. ZvT and Big Toe in the chat. How am I doing today? I'm doing great. How are you? I know at least 3 German words, says the City Dog. Brilliant. Thoughton Man asking, am I still sponsored by Runtime GG? That's been worked on. Basically, the person who sponsored me, or the person from the company that set up my stuff, left the company. And now I'm talking to them again because they want to rearrange my deal. And I'm it's something that's being worked on that's hopefully going to be back sooner rather than later. Fingers crossed. And it'll all get figured out. So we do have the Reaper just popping a queen down. Popping a grenade down, blasting that queen around a little bit, just having some fun. Extra Hellion's going to keep on coming up here as that single Zergling of Elazer is just going to go skipping away off over to this left-hand side here. Starport coming up from souL to get this going, as we do see a couple of Hellions coming out onto the map. So a couple of Hellions moving out into the map to get things rolling here initially. Reaper Grenade goes down. Creep Tumor does get cancelled. Again, Reaper and a couple of Hellions just up this pressure. This is really nice, getting rid of the first Creep Tumor multiple times and slowing that creep as much as possible. This is really nice. Fusion Core here from souL. Don't see a fast Fusion Core all the time, but obviously we have seen Ufilm going for some Battlecruiser builds, and perhaps this is one of those. And as we get that coming up, we'll see where he takes it. Anko63 having skipped frames. It's definitely not on my end, dude. I mean, not only am I not dropping any frames, I'm watching my stream preview and it is absolutely crystal clear, so it feels like it's something probably on your end. Few Hellions still just sat just on the edge of the creep. As these queens going to be poking forwards as well. And there is our first Battlecruiser on the way up, so souL going to use this to harass a little bit while moving in towards a mech-based style as the game goes by. Some queens going to be there to push those Hellions just a little bit further back as well. Wardy, have you ever found any sponsors through Twitch chat or viewers? I mean, a couple of people have come in from Twitch chat and wanted to kind of somewhat personally sponsor an event themselves. I mean, I guess so. Like, a few people contact me and they're like, hey, I have a company, we'd like to sponsor something. Or some people are just like, hey, I've got some money, I want to sponsor something. So, yeah, I mean, kind of. I'm just going to pull back a little bit. Those 2 drones were quite nice pickoffs for the Hellions. I mean, 1 Hellion goes down. Far from the end of the world. It's going to be a stim pack follow-up, so he's going to go into a bio play beyond this Battlecruiser, which is interesting. I guess there's been a few different variations of this. The one I've seen the most of has been really the commitment in towards like mech afterwards, and use the Battlecruiser harassment to keep the Zerg player so busy that when your mech army comes up, suddenly you just have so much. It's so powerful. I mean, just yesterday we saw Euthermal do it in such a way where he kept his opponent so busy that eventually he had mass Battlecruisers, and at that point it just, the mass Battlecruisers just don't die. So we do see a couple of drones being picked off here over in the main base. The Battlecruiser is teleported in, so a little bit of harassment coming down. Smoke on the Queens, getting some good shots off though, and that Battlecruiser does have to back away, but of course there is dead airspace for him to sit in, and that BC will be able to survive, as it will also get this Overlord kill, which is a nice little pick-off. Yeah, where is Deepbot? Deepbot's not turned on. Let me turn the bot on. But these matches are being played live as, at the same time, Hellions dive by into the third base. So that Battlecruiser acts as a perfect distraction as suddenly 20 drones go down, and these Hellions will get picked off. So 21 workers killed. souL gets some real damage done here with this opener, and he even drops some heal on this side of the map to start repairing this Battlecruiser up. This Battlecruiser is being repaired. We see +1 missiles and +1 carapace being dropped here on the natural expansion. Extra drones on the way through. Roach speed on the way up as well from Elazer. So getting that roach speed going, as we do have the stim pack is about to complete from souL in the main base. So his bio harassment can start up very shortly as well. His first medevacs are just finishing up. I'm having trouble finding the starports all the way in the back, of course. That's where he initially built it. And his first 2 medevacs being out means that it's time to go and really start cleaning up some creep. That's what these first Marines are pretty much always used for. You have stim and you have medevacs, and so realistically, these Marines are almost untouchable in the sense that you can always just lift up and back away, and that gives you so much potential to clean out this creep spread, take some of the map control back, and to go from there. But obviously, just to begin with here, this has not been a pretty situation for Elazer. He has lost a whole bunch of drones early on, and is trying to play catch-up while still having to deal with the Battlecruiser, which is now fully repaired. And coming back in, it's going to target down a few more drones as the Queens... Well, I mean, now it has tactical jump, so it can just sit here until it wants to jump away. And there it is, tactically jumps back home. As you see, the Marines do push the left side, but there's Roaches in position. Roaches are a pretty sturdy force to push these Marines back. They're not going to be dealt with kind of as easily as just kind of position the Marines well as you can kind of deal with Lings. In general, the Roaches here should be pretty good to keep on defending. The Queen's pretty fast to target down one of those medevacs as well, which will give the Roaches a bit more confidence to chase with Roach speed finish too. They'll chase away until obviously only 8 Marines can get out of here, so it will be a few kills for Elazer with +2 carapace and +1 melee now on the way up. So after the missile upgrade initially, Elazer will switch it up into Lingbane. With this amount of Roaches out, obviously he will stick with, he's not going to, he's still going to have these as an important part of his fight. He's probably going to introduce a few Ravagers as well and play this Lingbane Ravager style. Very aggressive style, and souL, already realizing the kind of dangers of this, is setting up a couple of bunkers here just to make sure he can defend if Elazer gets really aggressive in the near future. He's going to have these bunkers here. He'll have the tanks to set back, and he should be able to hold on for the majority of for the majority of this here. As you see, concussive shells on the way up, a second factory added in as well. Again, for him, the siege tank count is going to be so important, because a higher siege tank count will really just kind of shut down Roaches and Ravagers. Means that there's just going to be too many tanks to bile, and Lingbane running into tanks doesn't do all that well. As long as it isn't Swarm Host, sorry, not Swarm Host, as long as it's Mutalisks, tanks will generally do very well against Zerg armies. And that's what souL is setting up in towards. We see a Battlecruiser clean up some crew spread, some Marines clean up some creep as well. Marines come in to respond to this. Is over on this left-hand side. It's a similar story. Medevac's going to try and hop into the main, but there's a lot of anti-air defense in position to try and shut those Medevacs down. And even though it won't stop them unloading, it will bring the Medevacs kind of low already. These Marines are now focusing on the Spore Crawler, and this was very risky. souL didn't really get much out of that, and the Spore Crawler even surviving is a nice little addition. As another scan comes down, this BC still just patrolling the map and cleaning up creep spread left, right, center, wherever it can, really. As we're going to be seeing it just jumping away once again. And as it jumps actually into the natural mineral line, where there is not any real anti-air. There's no Spore Crawler here. The Queen is obviously not going to deal that much damage. And so this Battlecruiser is going to pick up a whole bunch of drones before it gets turned away. Yeah, the Battlecruiser is probably dead, but obviously still just realizes it's had so much value out of it already. May as well just get a little more. And that's 8 workers killed. Could have been more if he didn't target the Queen and had kept target firing drones. In the meantime, there's also a drop or so that's just been cleaned up over here. It's just lifted up and dropped to the high ground. souL's already scanning to get rid of, again, even more creep humans, as he is just absolutely everywhere in this game number 1. Hive is about to finish up here from the lasers. We do see another few Marines lifting up from the main base. souL really is one of these Terran players that will just drop, and just keep on dropping. He will just never stop. But Elazer's starting to be on top of that here. A few units in the back of the natural coming in. You see a huge chunk of Marines stemming forwards there. A few Lings going down. Banes continue to roll forwards too, and a couple of these tanks will continue to siege up. Banes going off all over the place. We do see the units going to keep on fighting. And, well, I mean, honestly, it's a pretty good defense from souL. Considering he has bunkers here, these Roaches and Ravagers will not be able to do too much more. So this is pretty much the end of them. They'll have to back away now. But still not bad from Elazer. A nice little counter that gets 7 workers. It does push back the Terran army a good little bit. Now a Spire on the way up. Elazer has got a Hive, so it looks as though he's aiming towards that, well, Greater Spire sort of style and those Brute Lords. And he throws down an Ultra's Cavern for good measure, but whether he'll actually use that remains to be seen here. At the moment, Adrenal Glands and the +3 Carapace coming up. All of that going to allow him to just make this army stronger and stronger as we get going. He's running forwards to see the Roaches and Banes. It's going to be running straight on top of this as well. And a couple of Siege Tanks going down. Those Banes will get good connections here. The souL is struggling to hold on. Another few Lings just continue to come forward. 17 workers already down. At the same time, on the right side, Elazer's Overlords are found. That's kind of a big deal, but only if souL can survive this attack to begin with. Tank sieges on the high ground. A couple of tanks will siege on the high ground. Those Marines killed so many Overlords, but Elazer's still barely even supply blocked. The Marines continue to pour on out. A couple of Liberators showing up as well. While the Siege Tank will just survive here, the Liberators will help to clean up, so Elazer will lose a lot. And these Marines are still out on the map, but 39 SCVs lost here. Man, if those Marines, I mean, I appreciate that killing the Overlords was very good, but I mean, imagine they were in a mineral line. They could have killed off a hatchery or multiple hatcheries in the time that it's taken Elazer to come and to somewhat respond to this. As you're going to be seeing now, those Marines having to lift up. souL keeping whatever he can out on the map. His biggest issue right now, the worker count. 36 to 86 workers. If you can rebuild the worker count, his army supply is still relatively decent. Ultras aren't out on the map just yet. There is some potential here. souL with +2 armor still not finished. He obviously forgot about that for quite a little while, because he wasn't behind on upgrades any, earlier on in the game. So that is just something he's forgotten about. And that could have affected him during those last couple of fights. Planetary Fortress finally on his way up on the 4th, as we see pushing forwards. Oh, Infestors! Well, the first kind of few Marines managed to pull away from the fungal growth to minimize its effectiveness. That one Liberator in the back is not in the best of positions. Another fungal comes down. Corruptors will start to clean up in the skies, and now the Ultras do take to the fields. The fact there's already Corruptors out here really makes something of souL's army just a little bit less effective. A hatchery is found and killed on the right side, at least. So souL with this drop making something happen in the meantime. He will find this hatchery bottom right, but Elazer's already here with units to make sure that this is not going to be taken down. So Elazer will hold on to 4 bases still, with the actual 4th base originally now being replaced and built back up. An action-packed game number 1 here in Cerulean Fall. Hopefully it's just a sign of things to come today, because again, this is a fantastic group, and I think it's going to be really a lot of fun to kind of watch to see how it all goes. Drones are going down again as a few units just show up and, again, do what they can. I mean, souL is in a little bit of a desperation moment at this time. It's going to be tough for him. I mean, +3 Carapace is done, and he doesn't have +3 attacks, so those Ultras are going to be super tanky with Chitinous Plate and in play. You can just see they survived for so long against these Bio units. Now some extra tanks showing up. Unsieged will actually do quite a lot to help out, and he will be able to chase that Ultra, and one final shot will get the kill. But then other Ultras show up as well, and souL is still in full-on retreat mode, and Infestor throws down a Fungal to help grab a couple kills. The tanks now are sieged up, which makes them ripe for the pick, and Banes crash into the SCVs in the low ground, and Ling's Ultras continue to push up in towards the main, where they're going to be hunting down, well, the last few Marauders here. And everything else is going to keep on dropping as well. There's the GG, and Elazer takes game number 1 of this best-of-3 series. That's why, yeah, I only turned WardiTV on not that long ago. Okay, yeah, the stream just started, Hayes. You've literally missed the first game of the day, which was Elazer, our Blue Zerg, starting up at the top left-hand side from a Go Esports. He took the first game on Cerulean Fall, heads into Kairos Junction in a lead against the Red Terran. To the bottom right, souL from Wind and Rain. So, where's Jay? How you doing today? Hope you're having a fantastic day yourself. As we get ourselves going into game number 2 of this best of 3. SCV getting ready to pop down at barracks. And actually dropping down over in the natural expansion. Nothing ridiculously crazy to get this started. No proxy racks or anything along those lines. Again, just a quick rundown of today's matches. We're starting the day with Elazer versus souL, and then we'll follow up with DNS versus Clem. At that point, we'll start doing 2 matches at the same time, but we'll be focusing on Goblin versus Elazer. We'll also be following up with Elazer versus DNS, DNS versus souL, and Elazer versus Clem. And then we'll probably go through the matches as well. souL versus Clem, souL versus Goblin, Goblin versus Clem, and DNS versus Goblin, just to see how everything goes. We're aiming to cast at least 7 or 8 best of 3s today. Depending on the length of them, depending how the day goes, we may cast all 10 best of 3s from this group. Yeah, Elazer just left Clash about a week or so ago, maybe a little bit longer. Straight after Home Story Cup, he left Clash and joined Go Esports, which is a big Polish organization. It's very exciting to see them picking up a StarCraft 2 player. It's actually very interesting indeed, so really excited to see what comes of that this year, and hopefully he does pretty well. What's the 201 icon? So, I'm not going to lie, it's because you can't see the rest of it, but the tournament's called 2018 has left the game, and that is our logo for the tournament. They really should have done the text in like light grey as well, shouldn't they? Now that I think about it, there you go. If I put it in the light, there you go. 2018 has left the game. It's the name of our tournament. I just didn't have it on yesterday because I kind of forgot. Don't tell anyone. Did you see this Reaper grenade going down, and a little bit of back and forth here with a few Zerglings hanging around this natural expansion factory. On my way down from souL here on the main base and getting ready to go as we get this rolling. Does Reno have a team yet? No. I heard some rumors that he might join a Chinese team, which I think very quickly got shut down. But I also heard, I think it would make the most sense for him to join Clash. They just lost Elazer, and they are an Italian-based team, so it would actually be very good for Reno to join Clash, I think. And that's why I kind of imagine him going in the near future. So I guess we'll see how it turns out, but that would be my best bet, that Reno joins Clash. If he joins anyone else, I mean, maybe Liquid are looking to pick up a player. Liquid would be, I mean, Liquid Reno would be really sick, and it'd be such a, that'd just be really cool in general, so I don't know. Anyways, we'll have to wait and see. Again, souL opens with the Fusion Core. This Battlecruiser opening has been so often and so frequently just kind of used here. Elazer this time goes straight into a Rotron, so I wonder if he's going to go for a much faster attack, and you know, maybe if he feels as though souL is doing the same thing, I wonder if Elazer feels like he can maybe get some aggression, kind of hitting at a time where the Battlecruiser just isn't out to help defend. I mean, Battlecruisers have a huge build time, so just going to be seeing the Zergling getting picked off there by the couple of Hellions. souL not paying attention there for a moment. We'll lose the Reaper and Hellions. That's a bit of a disaster. I mean, Elazer's going to make a bunch of Roaches here, so as the Rotron finishes, he has the gas to make about 10 or so, a bit more. Gets the first few on the way up, so here we go, Elazer. Is this just the answer to the Battlecruiser? I mean, losing the Hellions as well is very frustrating because now the next Hellions are pushed back, and so the chance of seeing this from souL is very low. I mean, what does he have across the map to watch these Roaches, you know, moving across to be aggressive? Well, basically nothing. The Battlecruiser is going to be about halfway done now, so it's another 30 seconds till the pop. So the Battlecruiser is going to pop out as the Roaches arrive. I mean, it's going to be that situation of how much damage does Elazer get done before the Battlecruiser kills all the Roaches? I would imagine the answer to that is very likely going to be a hell of a lot. So an Engineering Bay or two will come up here, as this is going to be a wall-off at least. That will help to buy some time. Hellions are still sat out the front. He'll want to keep those alive. Okay, he's going to see the Roaches now. souL needs to pull these Hellions back and try and keep them alive to use against the Zerglings that are going to be coming in. souL's Battlecruiser is about to pop. I mean, he can go straight into a Banshee. That will build a lot faster after this. He does start to build up a Banshee. Pulls the SCVs up to the high ground. Because obviously the first wall-off goes down pretty quick. The second wall-off doesn't really get lifted in time. Marauder on the way over, as he does straight away just... Well, I mean, actually, this is quite nice. The Battlecruiser gets rid of Ravages a lot faster than I thought he would. I mean, he starts to deal with the Roaches, sure. The Lings in the front are not doing... or having a pretty good time as well in general, but... Well, this BC is starting to kind of get some cleanup here. He actually cancels the next the Banshee, and he goes into a Battlecruiser instead, because he was supply blocked, I guess. And by the time he's going to clean this up, he's realizing the Banshee isn't that necessary. So going into a second Battlecruiser instead, Elazer begins to draw on up, and with 20 SCVs killed, there'll be a couple more going down towards the end here, so we'll try and save what he can. This is a... It was a good attack from Elazer. It definitely got damage done. 25 workers killed. And a few lings still left over here. But, you know, Stim was kept alive. There's going to be a good amount of Marines on the way out. I mean, I don't want to say that souL's in a great position when he's down 40 workers and it's only 2 bases. There's no third command center. But at least he's got the Battlecruiser to try and do something with, right? And we saw last game the Battlecruiser got a little bit of damage done. How many kills on the BC? 16. This extra Zergling coming in. It's just the little things like the Hellions not still being alive and stuff like that. It's really hurting for souL at the moment as he goes straight into combat shields. He has factory moves towards the back. Probably wants to get a siege tank ASAP. Looks like 2 Battlecruisers are going to come in at the same time. I do like that because I feel as though 2 BCs, if they stay out of range of spores, can get quite a lot done. Teleport straight in over here, which is on top of the spore. He's going to start to Yamato cannon down a couple of queens, and he'll get 2 of those right away. Extra queens running over as the first spore crawler will go down. Extra spores begin to build, so here's Elazer's problem. He's actually maybe not got enough anti-air to deal with double Battlecruiser because now the queens continue to drop. And it feels as though he's not even getting that much damage onto the BCs anymore. Spore crawler does get a couple of shots there. Transfuse will be helping out. For some reason, Elazer's got 31 drones on this mineral line, and I have no idea why he's so oversaturated. A couple of drones going down. I mean, really just getting so many of these queens is fantastic. A mule comes down to start repairing that first Battlecruiser. The extra spore comes up, but another queen with energy goes down. The mule, though, is not repairing the BC. souL is making a mistake here. Gets on that now. I mean, I like that. I still like the idea, and souL gets some damage done there. So Elazer comes out supply blocked. Making a Spire now, realizing he needs something to really deal with these Battlecruisers. 74 drones, again, it's actually too many for the bases that he has. He's oversaturated on the third, so while it looks like an amazing lead, and don't get me wrong, it is an amazing lead, there is still a bit of an issue there for Elazer, where it's actually maybe more like a 65 to 37 worker economy, which is still very good, don't get me wrong, Elazer's economy is fantastic. But it's just kind of putting the leads into perspective a little bit right now. Alright, well, these BCs come in, they Yamato once more, and then they teleport away. Going to go back home so they can get repaired up nice and quickly. The first set of Marines on the map now as well. And CVs will pull in and again get those BCs repaired. It's absolutely essential to have those at full health to get back on the map as soon as possible. Issues, as soon as they get back on the map, the Spire's on the way up now, so there is going to be a bit of a better answer. And Corruptors pretty much are kind of a solid go-to against Battlecruisers. They're very tanky themselves with that armored tank. They do a lot of damage as well, so the armor of the Battlecruiser isn't as great. The Mutalisks I question a little bit more, though, you know, I can still see it working out. The Mutas are much more mobile and Corruptors, etc. But the Mutas will not have as great a time to deal with the BCs because they do less damage, and the BCs will deal with them a little bit more easily as well. But 17 Mutalisks, I mean, it is only 2 Battlecruisers, so we have to keep this realistic, of course. Marines pressing in this 4th hatchery. In a little bit of trouble here. There's no Banelings yet. 6 of them morphing in at the moment as the first Spore Crawler going to be transfused. Second Spore Crawler taken down. Remember, there is going to be Yamato cannons available here. Here it goes. The BCs for a moment will just move commanding forwards, but then I guess that still means they're fire rainers now. The Banelings start coming in. souL needs to stim those Marines again. As you see, the Battlecruisers will start to fall. Extra Marines starting to show up. This siege tank will get sieged. And now souL will start to actually turn around and to deal some damage again. We'll get rid of these Banes. Is that enough Marines to get rid of the Mutants? For now it is. So souL is continuing this attack, about to hit +1 attack as well, so he's going to have a little bit of a better time in the near future. As we do see, scan drops down, Marines will stim forwards, and again the Mutants trying to see what they can catch. A couple of Zerglings going down there. Lings will continue to get picked away, but souL realizes that because he's still on 2 bases, there's just no real way this works out.